Alright, what up YouTube? Quasi here, and I am in the Marshall High School parking lot because I'm going to do a quick review of my bike. 1 year, 10,000 miles, even though I've actually had it for probably closer to 1.5 years and I'm only at 9,700 miles, but I think that's close enough, right? So here, take a look. I don't have a fancy gyro or stabilizer, so I'm not going to do any of the sweeping shots, but here it is, 2014 Kawasaki Ninja 300 ABS SE, white and black. You could see I went down on this side, some scuff marks there. Low side going about 30 miles per hour. There's a video of that on my channel if you want to see that. It's pretty much, right now, it's pretty much stock, except for it has the Augie knob frame sliders. It has the Diablo Rosso 2s from Pirelli. And I think that's it. Those are the only things I've changed on the bike. Stock exhaust. I did not wash it for this review, so you'll have to ignore that. Overall, a very good bike. My first bike, bought it brand new, and long story short, I don't regret it. It's a good bike. It does what I need it to do. Good for commuting, good for twisties, good for the highway. Maybe not good for the highway, okay for the highway. It gets the job done. Sometimes I would like more power, but handles beautifully. I've done the Twisted Sisters on this. I keep up with the 600s and the 1000s, no problem. Except in the straights, of course, and they just blow past me, but that's okay. Let's take a look at the taco. Y'all probably already know all this. Engine cutoff switch, ignition, whatever you call that. High beam right here. Your flashing light, which is basically the high beam. Turn signal, left, right. Push it in to stop it. Your horn. Clutch lever for your hand. The actual clutch shifting lever for your foot. Rear brake over here. Front brake over here. Gas, I won't give you all the statistics because y'all can look that up anytime on your own, and it will actually be accurate. But when I first bought the bike, I was getting 60 to 70 miles per gallon, but that was only because I was keeping it under the manufacturer recommended 6,000 RPMs, which is very hard to do on this bike because even in 6th gear, if you're going on the highway in 6th gear, you're way past 6,000 RPMs. It's just a high revving bike, and it's 300 cc's, so you don't have much power. You have enough, just not much. Complaints, my biggest complaints are, one, the seat. It's comfortable, and I don't have any problems comfort-wise. I can ride this for multiple hours, but I like to sit back with my knees braced against the tank. But because the way the seat is designed, I slide up all the time, and I guess I could get that fixed by just getting the no-slide sticky tape. That'd be a quick fix, easy fix. I just haven't done that. The other complaint, is easier to show if I'm actually moving, is the throttle a little bit. So I don't know if this is just my bike for sure, but I rode another 300 and it has the same kind of feeling, and I rode 1,000 and a 600 and they didn't have this feeling, and that is this. Okay, the throttle's off, on. You see that lurch? Of course you're supposed to use your clutch at low speeds to smooth everything out, but riding on those big bikes showed me that it can be really smooth. And it's not all bikes that are like this lurchy off to on. I don't know how to adjust that. I'm not very mechanically inclined, and so that annoys me sometimes because I'll be going on the highway and maybe I roll off the throttle just a little bit too much, and then I roll back on and it's that lurching feeling. It's nothing crazy, it's just a minor annoyance. Those are my two biggest complaints about the bike. It is just fine for everything else, like I said. I haven't taken it to the track yet, but twisties, commuting, anything like that, it's all good. There's another biker over there. Haha, yeah, oh, he's trying to do the wheelies. That was close. But anyways, great first bike. I do not regret getting it as my first bike. Bought it brand new. Other complaints. So on the highway, I do wish that I had more power sometimes. It's more than enough to cruise at highway speeds and beyond highway speeds. I mean, you can hit 90, 95 indicated fairly easily. I wouldn't say easily, but when you're up there, you'll stay up there for the most part. But you have to plan your passes because you don't have that on-tout throttle like you do on 1,000. But that's okay, especially on a first bike. Keeps me from getting into trouble. The wind does push you around a little bit, but really it's not as bad as people say. You get used to it pretty quick, especially if you're familiar with consciously counter-steering. Turning your handlebars basically the opposite way you want to turn in order to turn. But really, just push down and you'll be good. But anyways, yeah, that's my bike. 2014 Kawasaki Ninja ABS SE. No complaints. Oh, very minor complaints. Overall, great bike. Very minimal maintenance. The only thing I've done so far is oil change, tires. I think I got the valves adjusted at 7,000 miles because that's recommended, but if I remember correctly, they didn't really have to do much. They did have to fix, when I low-sided, they did have to fix something about my chain, or something guides the chain, I don't know, something like that, but that's not regular maintenance, obviously. So, I guess I'll leave it at that. Is there anything else I could think of to talk about? Gas mileage in practical usage, I get about 40 miles per gallon. I ride in groups, I ride solo. In group rides, that is a thing to bring up. If you ride with people that aren't riding at your level, or who don't realize how little power a 300 has, you will get left behind. No doubts about it. But if you ride with reasonable people who keep it within, I don't know, 10, 15 miles per hour, the speed limit, you're not really going to have any issues. But don't even try to keep up with them as far as acceleration. It's not going to happen. You just gotta ride smart, a little bit smarter than you would on another bike. This bike does have a slipper clutch and it does have ABS, which has saved my bacon. Very, very useful. I specifically wanted a first bike that had that because I knew I wanted it for oh shit moments, and that has been worth it to me. Riding feeling fantastic. I can whip it around, no issues. And I couldn't ask for a better starting bike. I do plan to upgrade at some point, but probably not for a while. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. If you have any questions or you want to know anything else, just leave a comment below and I'll try to respond to you. I try to respond to everybody, so hit me up. But that's all I got for y'all. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Peace.